Welcome to Semper Sometimes with Benny. I'm gonna throw out a disclaimer. I don't know if anyone noticed, but my last live feed, um, I I had a wee bit of an accent, because I don't do it on purpose, but it's my life. I've been watching Yellowstone, and it just kind of gets away from me. And you know, just get into character, and it is how it is, and it be how's it bees. Um, so tonight, we're gonna have a guest with us. I believe it's Brian. I'm not gonna lie. Brian from I Got Your Six. He started a podcast like 3 or so years ago. I ended up seeing him on Instagram just recently. He's from Jersey City, and that's really all I know about him. I don't like to dive into people's work before I interview them, only because I feel like it's cheating, and I also feel like I'm gonna know things that I don't want to know, and I'd rather just get to know you then listen to your work. Um, but sometimes I do. It's just different circumstances, different strokes for different folks. But no, he reached out to me and was like, "Hey man, I would love to do an episode," and I had reached out to him, and he was like, "Hey man, you said you wanted to get together, so here we are." But before he gets on, I wanted to just kind of give us an idea of what's coming forward. Tomorrow, I am going to be doing an episode with a friend of mine, a fellow Marine Corps veteran, Keith O'Brien, Mass Sergeant O'Brien, retired retiree. Um, Talking to him about training, recruiting duty, how to be an effective leader, how to be an effective trainer, um, especially when you're brand new to the staff and COIC world, um, and just kind of talk about stuff like that. And then we're gonna just dive into different stuff. If you have topics that you want to discuss, let me know. If you have questions that you want asked, let me know. Um, but yeah, that's going to be about it. Oh, sorry. Hey, hello. Two more people hopped on. Hey, don't leave yet. The guest hasn't arrived. Um, but what annoys the crap out of me is I don't know who the two watchers are. Hey, if you're watching, comment so I know who you are and I can just talk to you while I wait on the guest. Hey. Um. I'm excited to get a new haircut. It's always so weird. I gotta remember how this works here. Got to get a nice fade tomorrow. Dude, I'll tell you one thing, man. It makes you feel so much different when you have a fresh haircut. Wow, they left quickly. All right, I'm getting pretty boring. Um, you know what I really wonder? I wonder when my wife is watching these as I'm live, what is she thinking? That's what I wonder. Um, but kind of just gonna hang out and sit here until somebody hops on and asks me a question. So, because right now I'm just waiting for him to hop on. He will be here in 3 minutes. Yo, if you are not here on my live, you're wrong. So you need to find yourself here. I'm not recording. I wasn't recording. What do you mean? Have you ever gone live while going live? Because I have. Follow the YouTube page. Make it happen, because I'm live right now in 2 places and no one's watching. That's pathetic. The fact that I'm on live in 2 different places is pathetic. Oh, man. Hey, Pterodactyl, I'm on my YouTube. Just hopping on here to let everybody know. My guest will be here in 3 minutos. He's not late. I'm actually late. So I will say that. And if you aren't live with me, well, there's a problem. I don't care that it's Thursday. I don't care that it's a really random ass time. When I'm famous, y'all are going to be like, oh, where's Benny? Hey. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I think that's going to be part of it. When I'm famous, like legitimately, I'm putting this out there into the world, into the atmosphere. When I'm famous and I'm on like legit, like all over the news and all over TV, and like I've got these cool channels and shit, I'm not gonna have like a normal like it's David Letterman 9 o'clock at night. No, I'm gonna have like you better just always be wondering when I'm gonna go live, and you're gonna get like you're gonna find out that I went live and it's like 400,000 people and or more, and yeah, because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen, and I'm gonna have this same background but a lot fucking cooler because by then, like I think that no matter what happens in his life, that no matter where the studio goes, no matter how big of a house I get, this is going to be it. Like it's gonna be green. This is always gonna be the background. Like I don't want to get crazy. I want to keep this shit. And you know what? I get a lot of compliments. I have a lot of people who tell me that they like the backdrop. And I created that backdrop, me and the wife. So kudos to her for being married to me. And thanks being you. Because you make me, me. Yo! Terrell motherfucking Dactyl. My man, my guy. Thanks for showing up. I appreciate you. I hope everything's good with the family. Whoever is the other 2 that are watching, I appreciate you too. You should comment so I know who you are. Yeah, so while I wait for him to hop on, I just got done watching 4 seasons of Yellowstone. Wow. I want to talk to somebody from Montana and find out if that's anything like real life. But it really makes you think. It really makes you think what happens in some people's families, man. Like it's quite excuse me. It's quite crazy. It's quite crazy what's going on out there in the world. And yeah. But yep. So everybody, the world, how are we? Just so you know, this is just how the live's going to be, and then once the show starts, this is what I will have recorded, um, and then we'll go from there. So until the guest arrives, does anybody have any questions? Does anybody have a question they want to ask me? Ask me anything, and I will answer said question. Just got home from a hockey game. Varsity team won. My daughter's friend scored a goal. Nice. Good job. I like that. Scoring goals. Nice. I've never been to a hockey game. I have never been to a hockey game. It's quite frustrating. Like I would love to go. I've heard great things. But now in New Jersey, in order for you to go to any of those things, you got to be vaccinated, and I am not. So I guess I will never go to a sports game in my life. But yeah, I'm glad the kids are doing good. I know that you over the holidays you had some stuff going on, so I'm glad things are doing better with the family. That's great. Um, Good to see you guys doing great over at the Vet Syndicate with your stuff. So that's awesome. And yeah, yo, if you don't follow Vet Syndicate Radio, I hope that's what it is. I believe I'm right. Go follow them. They have some great stuff going on. All different, just a great opportunity there for some different stuff, some very different conversation. Yeah, and I hate that it doesn't tell me who's watching. Okay, I hate that it just says there's 2 eyes on me. Well, realistically, there's 4. Oh, now there's back to 2. It's kind of messed up because this is telling me that Cyclops is watching me twice. It's kind of messed up if you really think about it. Like one, oh, now I have 3 Cyclops watching me. It's nerve wracking. It is very nerve wracking as you're just going along, chugging along, and all of a sudden people are just 3 eyes, 2 eyes, 1 eye, 3 eye. Right now I have 3 Cyclops watching. Oh, down to 2 Cyclops watching. I guess they did not like me talking about Cyclops. Hey, give me something better to talk about while I wait for the guest to show up. How about that? Hey, my wife, Hillary, put something in the comments and we'll just go off on it. Yo, she's probably sleeping. I feel like right now she's knocked out. Vet Radio Syndicate, I knew I had it. Yo, definitely had to do it again, man. That was a phenomenal time. I've only been on 2 episodes, I've been on 2 other podcasts, and the other one, no, yes, and the first one I was on, I guess never got aired, or the guy never told me he aired it. I don't know whatever happened to it. Um, so yeah, and then I had the amazing privilege of being on 21 Guns, and that was awesome, man. Very good time there. Very different, 2 very different talk shows, podcasts, whatever you want to call it. Oh shit! I found the koozie. Oh man. So I wasn't gonna drink in the year of 2022, and then like a week in, I was like, you know what? I'm not an alkie. I can have a beer, and chose to have a beer, and yeah, here I am. But I hope no one minds that I have a beer or 2 while I do my podcast. Um, oh, crud nuggets! I never sent this dude the email, bro. I'm a fuck. Ugh. Ugh. I am back. What? Hey, whoever you are watching, and I left and you still stayed, you're the real MVP. You are. No matter what anybody tells you, oh, you left. Never mind. You're not. Bro, tell me how I never sent them the email. I am a mother flipping turd. My wife is the real MVP. She definitely fell asleep. She's knocked out. She is knocked out. My wife fell asleep. I guess I'm gonna have to pay a new co-host. I need an admin out there. Waiting for him to hop on. If you ever knew. I'm excited. I am excited. Hey, if you can, hey, don't leave. The guest is coming, okay? It's my fault he's late. He's not late. I was late to my own show. Um, my mother flipping Terrell, man. Yo, Pterodactyl, I appreciate you for being here. Um, again, hey, listen, this stuff's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But good thing is that this is like the background of what's going on. So instead of you having to subscribe to like an OnlyFans or some shit, you get to just be here early for the YouTube video, and you get to see it all. So, and you get to see me even worse than unscripted. And you get to be behind the stage while not being behind the stage. But yeah, that's here he is. Hello. welcome.
What's up, dude?
My man. So we are already live.
Cool.
I thought that I sent you the invite and I did not.
It's all good, man.
It's not. But how the hell are you?
Doing good, man. Just chilling. Just took the dog for a nice little walk.
Nice.
What are you watching, Yellowstone or some shit? I heard about that.
Bro, I was watching Yellowstone, man. If you haven't watched it, you need to go watch it because it's freaking phenomenal.
Yeah, what's it on Paramount or something? I hear a lot of people talking about that.
Yes.
Nice.
It is. Wow. Dude, I haven't binged watched a TV show in a very long time, and needless to say, me and my wife binged watched it for like the past, like we watched all 4 seasons in the past week.
Nice, dude. So it's gotta be
And
good, right? That's
oh, dude, bro, it's.
Heard.
I'm telling you, man, like it is. I don't know, man. Like it's just good. It's really good. But
Cheers. Cheers. Glad we got this going.
Yeah, man. I can't wait to have a cheers with you in person.
Mm-hmm.
But I like doing this, man. Random stuff, especially when it's just off the cuff.
Right.
Which is why it's the best because, like, yes, I would rather it in person, but I feel like when times like this happen, it's like, bro, it was meant to be. Let's freaking go and let's get in there. So who is Brian?
Who is Brian? Man. Who am I? So I'll kind of bounce around here. I did a little setup here. I'm in my living room now. I'm like, I live in Jersey City in like this brownstone. I'm like, I want to utilize this fucking back wall. Can I curse? I can curse, right?
No, curse? Yeah.
All right. So I'm like, you know what? I got the whole room set up like Marine Corps stuff, just like kind of personal stuff. And so who am I? Wow, I just kind of jumped off track there. So I'm New Jersey, or that's how we kind of connected to you. You're New Jersey Marine. There's not many of us, man. I'll tell you that. There's not. But I got a podcast called I Got Your podcast, and I got into that because I was in the Marine Corps from 08 to 12. Sorry, I'm fucking around with my mic. 08 to 12, and I got out there 2 deployments to Afghanistan. I was in 1-2, 1-6. I was a grimy little grunt. Some of them, we're better than you. Fuck all that. As you can see, a lot of my content's like, who gives a fuck? What are you doing now? That's what matters. But yeah, no, I saw some shit and did some. It doesn't matter what I did or what it doesn't really work with life now, except for I take the positives now and kind of run with it. There's a lot of people that think, that they live in the past. And the one thing is like about this podcast is we talked a little bit before is self-discovery, right?
Yeah.
I was like on a journey, I was doing this for me and not for anybody else. And kind of just, like you said too, the network has been amazing. I'll be coming up on 3 years in February. I recorded my first podcast. I didn't release it. So I did 5 solo episodes, see if I could do it. And just talk about my life, man. Just a struggle and a little about Brian Basho. But just in sum, yeah, I'm just a regular dude with some demons and trying to figure life out and, help where I can and just kind of kick it,
No doubt, man. So what made you decide to start a podcast? Like, how did that happen one day that you just decided, hey, I'm going to was it something where someone suggested it? Or was it like you were just sitting alone in a room one day and you were like, fuck it, I'm going to start a show? Like,
right. So I was doing CrossFit at this time. Like I was before that I was like addicted to Percocets. I was going through some demons before, and then I've been off it for a year. And this dude I looked at as like a role model. He's like a big bro. He's fucking gigantic fucking lunatic, which is why I he's been on the podcast. Big J, what up? He's well known in the CrossFit world, and he's like 6'5", like 240, like neck tattoos.
Oh my God.
And then just like I have a couple of photos of him. I always give him shout outs because he inspired me to do it. He started writing about mental health. And I'm like, if this, because I was still in that phase, where I'm like, stigma, what are people going to think,
Yeah.
Which hence why I didn't release the podcast until April when I recorded in February. And just kind of kept it low key. I was like, I did it, like I'm at. And then I just kind of went social media that October. But yeah, no, I saw him write about you know, a little bit about his life and the struggles that he went. I'm like, this big badass dude can fucking write that. I can too. And it kind of, and what it did too is it kind of killed two birds with one stone. I say that all the time in like podcasts or whatnot, because I'm helping myself, you know, just coming out of my comfort zone.
Hold on. You mean you fed two birds with one scone?
It's killed, bro. Killed. I'm like, bro. But yeah, no, it was just kind of like, you know, this is who I am. I feel like I was hiding my identity for a little bit, you know, just, you know, failed relationships to drug addiction to suicide to, you know, just just some rough times. And I just feel like this podcast has helped me connect with people. The networking has been amazing. I don't do it for anything else but to just kind of, you know, connect and put myself out there and just kind of see, you know, if I can help someone, one person, that's cool, you know. And
dude, that's awesome. Now, has it now? Do you kind of use it like a coping mechanism? Like, does it help? So it's helping you, but it's also helping others.
Yeah. So the one thing it's kind of cool, you know. I just kind of, you know, here and there, I'll like post like a military photo, like in Sangin or in Muskela, just kind of, you know, just kind of being like, you know, it just go about memory lane, connect with. Because what I found too outside of I was that vet that's like social media is stupid, you know, all these guys are, you know, so many, and I tell people like I don't do this for anything, I just do it for me, and you know, I've been offered sponsorships and whatnot. I'm like, I'm not into it, because I think that's the way you connect with that other veteran that's kind of on the bubble. I was there, so there,
bro.
you know,
that is such. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but like that's the battle that I have. Mm-hmm. Because like with when I started, like I do mine on Anchor, and I can create my commercials. Like I have people that like, I don't have people asking me to sponsor them, but like I have like shirt companies that like I could simply be like, hey, 10% off and stuff like that. Like,
right.
And it's like I'm so on the fence of both because like I want to make this a lifelong dream of a career. Right. And in order for it to be a career, it's got to pay. But then at the same time, I also feel like it takes away from the podcast when you start going that route, because anybody who's listening, they start hearing commercials. They're like, oh, this guy's not in it for the right reasons. So like, that's the torn part that I have.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. So what are you in it for? Like what I know we haven't really, I know we talked a little bit about.
So it's my thing, man, is that honestly, it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of what you're kind of like the same thing you're saying, man. You know, because there's so much that nobody talks about. You know, my biggest thing was, you know, like I have like 36 episodes about recruiting duty. And I found that the conversations that I'm having now were conversations I wanted to have on active duty, but every time I brought them up, someone said, hey, this isn't the time or place. Mm-hmm. So on my podcast, I can make it whatever time and place I want.
Do whatever the fuck you want. It's your show, dude.
Exactly. And now the conversations that I'm having are reaching the whole Marine Corps. Like I actually have people hitting me up. I just had a sergeant major on who's active duty, talked about his experience currently. So realistically, my thing was that there's a lot of, like, I want it to be veteran based, but I also want to help the mental toughness of the person who's still in right now. Right. Because a lot of people don't talk about what's going on in the Marine Corps currently. And there's a lot of people that deal with, you know, mental, you know, toughness, or people who deal with alcoholism and they hide it, you know. So like I want to have like a sergeant majors on who talk about, hey, I reached retirement, but hey, man, I dealt with my demons for 20 years, and this is how I got through it. Because I feel like those are the conversations that have to be had, because like and that's like, so my end goal realistically would be for podcasts to overtake training in the Marine Corps. Like, because the reality of it is that when you have training, it is a screenshot, it is a PowerPoint, it is, hey, sign your name here. It's just there.
So so that was one thing I talked about, is the transition when I got out. I got out in 2012.
Yeah.
and it was just like everyone's just. I call it like fucking what's that movie, The Breakfast Club, where everyone's just like, yo, it's class, it's like the tension. Everyone's just like, let's get out, see the check in the box, I'm out. They talk about
Yeah.
resumes and all that. I did read, I read that they're trying to do better, but I don't know how it is. You have more info than I do, but it sounds like it's still kind of the same. I don't want to put you on the spot though,
It
because I know you're
depends.
still in.
No. So it depends on. I was actually on my last episode. I talked to the sergeant major about that because he's transitioning out of the Marine Corps, and that was one of the questions that I had for him. I was like, "You being a sergeant major, is your transition process different than a lower enlisted Marine?" And he said, and a lot of people have said that the transitioning process from the early 2000s and 2010 has greatly gotten increased. But now it's still kind of like the same thing. It's checking the box. Hey, here's how you, bro. I did, because of COVID. I did mine over. I literally was told, hey, log into this email, go to this website, and you're gonna do 10. You're gonna do 10 different PowerPoints. When you read through each one, sign it, and then you're done. Like, that was my checkout process. Was me sitting in my headquarters, literally clicking through slides, no human interaction, and then I got it, and they were like, "Hey, you're good to to execute orders back to your home of residence." But I do have friends of mine who were, because I was on recruiting duty, so I wasn't out in the fleet.
Mhm.
But I do have, like, my boy Stanley. He did the bridge program, and he got out of the Marine Corps as a gunny at, I believe, 15
What's
years.
the bridge? What's the bridge?
So they created this new program. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not well versed in it.
Yeah,
But essentially, when you're in the Marine Corps on active duty, your transcripts correlate to college credits,
mm-hmm.
and there's different programs to where you can leave the Marine Corps as you're transitioning out, like your last 6-7 months. You will go to job fairs. You will go to job. You'll learn how to do the job. So he
Mm-hmm.
was learning how to become a realtor. So he went to realtor school. He went to get his license and all that.
Cool.
So when he was done with that 6 months and he EAS'd, he walked right into the job field immediately. So
Yeah.
you're bridging the gap.
Cool.
So there's things for, like, when I got off recruiting duty, like when you're on recruiting duty, they have it's like the MOS map. So what happens for recruiters is you end up getting like a fucking you get like over an associate's degree worth of credits for counseling. So, like, when I got off recruiting duty, I called this college, and they were like, "Hey, you can go to this college, and because of all your credits from the Marine Corps and your counseling, you're only going to need to do 18 months to get a bachelor's degree through us." The only reason why I didn't, though, is because there was a college in East Bumblefuck, like South Carolina. The BAH was going to be trash, so I was like, I don't want to waste or lose the money on that.
Right.
But no, apparently, from what I understand, the transition has gotten a lot better for active duty Marines. But the thing is, though, man, is that, like,
It's not when I so I'll interrupt you. The thing is,
yeah,
it's not getting out. It's when you get out. It's like I think
exactly.
you need to
But I
have like
think,
that transition in the first
but
year
I
getting
think,
out. Yeah.
but I think that's the problem, though, is that, like, and I think that's what's great about podcasts like mine or yours, is that this is really the only way to help people transition, because
Right.
I can tell you what it's like to transition, but until you actually transition, it's like when I had my older brother. My older brother, would tell me constantly, hey, if you do this, you're gonna get fucked up, or if you do this, you're gonna get fucked
Right.
up. And I was like, no, I'm gonna go learn myself. So it's the same thing for a veteran to someone who's getting out of the Marine Corps. Hey, use your GI Bill. Hey, go to the A. Hey, no one's really gonna listen until it's their time.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So, like, I feel that, and that's the thing too, is like with the transitioning thing from being on active duty, is that I feel like there's so many steps that are in place, but people are so disgruntled when they're getting out of the Marine Corps that they don't want to take help from the Marine Corps.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
They just want to be out, be a civilian, smoke that first fucking J, dude. That's all.
Yeah. So, like,
I mean,
so there's so many people that, like, and it sucks, man, because, like, You know, like I was talking about this with my boy the other day, on an episode, and it sucks because like I genuinely love the Marine Corps for everything that it is.
Right.
You know, has bad things happen? Of course, bro. Bad things happen in every job, every way of life, every career. It doesn't matter. But when people get out of the Marine Corps and become disgruntled, it's like, bro, why are you still holding this animosity or this angst against something that's gone? Like you said it. You said it. Hey, man, I'm done with that part of my life. Just leave it in the rear view. Then just leave it in the rear view. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know, man. So what was getting out like? So why did you end up getting out? Like, what was before we get to that? Why did you join the Marine Corps? How did that like? Was it something
Yeah.
that you always wanted? Was it, or were you like me, where you were like, hell no, I'm never joining? Like, how did that happen?
No, I was just kind of a lost, Uncle Sam's misguided children right under that umbrella. Just kind of lost. I was going to military college for a little bit to play football, get a scholarship to play there, and I left there. I came back. I called Brian's Rock and Roll Tour. I was at military college, Valley Forge, and I came back. I had one semester ago. That's how fucking stupid I am. And I got back. We just had Christmas break, and he had a demerit system. And I come back, and I just see Basho, fucking top of the list. And one of my buddies Simone, he plays professional football at CFL. I guess I've never seen that many tours ever. But came back and I saw, I go, fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna be able to do I have one semester here. It's gonna be torture. I'm gonna be cleaning toilets, all that shit. I go, I'm fucking out. Call my mom, like, yo, I'm out. So I walked down to the dean. He was like this big army colonel, fucking all on his chest, and I'm like, yo, I'm fucking out. Like, who am I? Like 20 years old, 19. He's like, give me a speech. He's like, yo, you're gonna do nothing in life. You're gonna fail. Like, the army be all you could be. Fucking poster. So I got my little Altima. Fucking went up to Newport, Rhode Island, to Salve, Virginia. Went to the University of Vermont. Went and just kind of cruised at one of my buddies' colleges and couch surfed for a couple of months and just lived at school called Brian's Rock and Roll Tour. And they kind of lived college for a little bit. Came home, was like, wow, I gotta get my shit together. Like, what am I doing, dude? I'm 20 years old, about to be 21. Like, I'm working at a liquor store here, dude. Like, come on, let's go. So one day I was like, I'm gonna go in a recruiting office. I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna sign up. Why not? Get a little change in life. I signed up and I was like, oh, I just want to be a grunt, and fucking left. Let's say like 2 months later. Had a hernia surgery right before. So I went
Did you join out of, where did you join out of? New Jersey or?
Yeah, New Jersey. It was right by Fort Monmouth. Tinton Falls, I think.
Yeah. Who was your recruiter?
Rivera or something? The Asian guy? Asian guy? Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, he's funny.
No, bro. He was, dude. That dude. You know that dude. Well, you don't know this, but crazy story about Rivera. Is he saved me? He saved me from. I wouldn't. If it was not for him, I would not be a Marine.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be a Marine, bro. So I was a high school senior. I had just joined. And it's like a month, like less than a month away from me going to boot camp. And I'm hanging out with my boys in Middletown. And I get arrested for underage drinking in the middle of this it's called Cherry Tree Village. It's in the back of this like little condominium. And where we get arrested, and I'm sitting in the back of the cop car, and I pull out my freaking flip phone Motorola and I call him. And he's like, Bennett, why the fuck are you calling me at 3 a.m.?
Yeah, he was a tough guy.
And I was like, sir, this pulley is in the back of the cop car. And he's like, what? And he starts flipping out. And the cop is like, who the fuck are you on the phone with? And I was like, my recruiter. And he's like, your recruiter? I was like, yeah, my recruiter for the Marine Corps. He's like, what? I was like, yeah, I'm supposed to leave in a month. He's like, we'll deal with this when we get to the cop. When we get to the precinct.
That's cool.
So we get to the precinct. My phone is blowing up, and now it's, I think, Master Guns Pat calling me. At the time, Staff Sergeant Pat or Gunny Pat, I think.
Yeah, he was fucking lit. Oh, I feel like he was fucking.
He's
badass.
He's a master Gunny now.
Okay.
But So Rivera's calling me, and the cop answers the phone, and he's like, "Hey, listen, man, dude's locked up. He can't be on the phone with nobody." He's like, "Listen, bro, this is the Marine Corps recruiter calling you." He's like, "I need you to do me a solid." And the cop's like, "Listen, man, I can't do any favors." Da, da, da. And he's like, "Listen, I need him to have the first court case Monday morning, and this whole shit got to get dropped." So no lie, Monday morning, they let me out because I was 18. So I signed myself out. I get out. Monday morning, I go to court. He
That's
comes
dope.
to my recruiter comes to court in his dress blues, and he stands in front of the judge, and the judge is like, "Hey, we're gonna talk to him offline." So then they bring me into the chambers, and this some big, tall, tubby, like retired Marine is like, "Are you ever gonna do this shit again?" And I was like, "No, sir."
No,
He was like, "Am I
no,
ever gonna see you?"
no.
He was like, "Am I ever gonna see you in a Middletown jail again?" I was like, "No, sir." He was like, "Okay, so you will never get arrested." I was like, "No, sir." He was like, "All right, you're going to boot camp. This shit never happened." So
Shit.
I had to pay like $100 fine, but I was supposed to pay like 5 grand in fines. Like, and it
Rivera fucking
yeah,
coming
dude. So
through, dude.
bro. Dude, he came through, man. And it's crazy how small the world is, man. Like
Yeah,
I meet
the
so
Marine Corps
many people.
especially, dude.
Yeah, dude. I meet so many people who were like, "Yeah, dude, like this guy was my recruiter." And I'm like, "Bro, like it's nuts, man."
How
So
see?
how
Go ahead. Sorry, I'm
I
interrupting.
was no, I was gonna say how was your Marine Corps career? How did you, I know you dealt with a lot when you got out transitioning, but how was the
It
4 years then?
it was good, dude. I was like the typical, like 4 year grunt. Two deployments. I was in 1-2, and then we did. When I got back from Musakela in 2010, they asked, "Hey, who wants to go on another pump?" 1-6 about to go do another pump to Afghanistan, and they're taking volunteers. So I was like, "Yo, I'm ready to go back." That was the way of life. Um, and that's I couldn't wait to get back. That's what as a grunt you did, and I the way of life was simple in that aspect. It's just you had one thing: stay alive, look out for your buddies, and it was kind of simple. It's weird. I don't know how to explain it, um, but yeah, no, I went back to 1-6, became team leader, and just kind of did a pump to Sagan over there, and yeah, man, no, my Marine Corps career was good. Minus the NJPs and not NJPs, NJP at the end. I was getting ready to get out. Fucking, we're all drinking, playing beer pong, and some lieutenant comes by, turn on the music, like fuck you, dude, fuck get out of here. But other than that, dude, I was good, man. I loved the Marine Corps when I was in. I didn't re-enlist because I didn't know. It seemed like we were going back to garrison a lot, and I liked being in the field. I'm not saying I'm a hard ass or anything like that. I just that's just what I thought the Marine Corps was, and that's the only thing I knew. So I was like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
get out. I'm just gonna get out and try something new. I did 2 deployments, and that was it. And yeah, and then I just kind of left. I went to Monmouth University for a little bit. I went hiked the Appalachian Trail for a little bit. I was busy. And then once I hit Monmouth University after the Appalachian Trail, man, that's where I was kind of like, ooh, this is kind of weird. Kind of just felt like I was just couldn't connect with the regular world. It was kind of that's where I was like sitting down at night and being like, wow, there's no one here. Like I'm not hiking, I'm not doing anything. Everything just kind of crept in because all you had time to do was think. And
Yeah.
there's not your boy that you can go knock on his door in the barracks. Not there. So, and yeah, and it was like, I don't want to be weak. I don't want to tell anybody. So, that shit just built for years, just finally it just explodes, man. That's just
Yeah.
kind of how it works. And I use this podcast too, just to kind of, every now and then if something on my mind, I just fucking just say it, And
Yeah.
that's just for me to kind of just get things out. And, and I find too, so many people, there's so many of us that think the same way and think the same way. A lot of us have parallels, but we're not the same, but we have a lot of parallels,
Oh
as
yeah.
far as,
100%.
there's a lot of, growing up, even before the Marine Corps, there's a lot of us that have shit that fucking happened beforehand. Why we fucking went to the Marine Corps. So there's a lot of different things.
I think I think it's also like it's very different as well when like I transitioned. I'm still in the reserves, but I transitioned off of active duty. I did 4 years on active duty in an office with 5 Marines every single day for 4 years straight. and we were Marines. We made Marine jokes. We made I'll
It's
never forget, bro. There was this one day, bro. So I've never told this story, and I hope I don't get in. I'm just gonna tell it because it's hilarious.
fucking say it, rip it.
So I don't even think my wife has heard this. So funny. So one day I was at Staff and SUIC training with the command, and I used to say this all the time. I would walk in the office and I'd be like, "Yo, what's good, pussy drippers?" And so this one day I walk into the office and I just got back from sitting down with the commanding officer and stuff. And I walk in the office and I scream, I kick the door open and I'm like, "What's up, pussy drippers?" And there's a female sitting down in the middle of an interview with my recruiter. And my boy just looks at me and he's like, "And that's Staff Sergeant Bennett." And I was like, "I apologize." I was like, "I'm sorry." I was like, "I could have definitely used some better verbiage there, but she's like, "Hey, listen, it's okay. It's not a big deal." But I was like, "My bad." But that's the thing though, is that like I got so used to that, being in the Marine Corps. I was a reservist, but I deployed, and then I went on active duty for 4 years straight, and then I'm transitioning out. And I didn't think it was going to be hard because I was like, in my head, I was like, "Bro, you've been a reservist for so long that it's not a big deal to you. Like you've lived this life before, like it's not a big deal." And then all of a sudden, I get out of the Marine Corps off of active duty, and I'm back home, and there's no Marines around me anymore. I just spent 4 straight years of my life with a Marine left and right of me all day, every day, and now I'm like, all it is civilians and my wife and my kids. But what I'm getting at is that happened to me when I was 31. I can only imagine what it feels like to join the Marine Corps at 17, 18 years old, go through 4 years of your life as a young adult, go through back-to-back deployments, then get out, and your adult life just began, and the only thing you've known is war and being best friends with people left and right of you, and now they're gone.
Right.
And then especially if you've gone through losing somebody and stuff like that, like I don't know what that feels like, and I can only I don't, you know what I mean? Like I feel like that's the part where this transitioning thing really takes heat. Because like yeah, I have some days where I'm like, wow, man, like I really miss my boys, where like, or like
Right.
I just don't feel like, like when I find something really funny and my civilian counterparts at my job are like, that wasn't funny, it's like, oh wow, like the Marine Corps humor is not there. But when I look at other people, I'm like, wow, man, like I can only imagine what they've gone through mentally as this transition happened.
Yeah, I mean that's part of it too. It's you have a big thing I talked to one of my buddies about is ego. You have this ego that you get out, and that ego kills you, right? Like you come out, you think you're better, you went through a lot of shit, so that you have the ego that drives you. That's like the first phase. One of my podcasts talking with Jace Delgado and Steve Rawson about is the ego, like coming out and transitioning. You feel like you can do anything, but you just got back from fucking combat and now you're in the civilian world. Of course you're gonna be like, yeah, this guy fucking ain't shit. I'm fuck better. I'm better.
Yeah.
But we all put our pants on the same way. But the ego kills you. And that's why I think it's so important. I talk about is finding, what helped for me is like through this podcast is finding a tribe. And not just like the tribe people say on like veteran communities where it's go, we're all tribe, but like a legit fucking tribe. Like they're there. You don't need to be around, but that you have somebody that gets you. You talk about shit that you don't talk about with other people, and you just have a legit like foundation of people that you connect with. And that's kind of the thing with this podcast has helped me is it helped me, be like, wow, I'm not the only one that thinks like I want to slap the shit out of this person, or I think I'm fucking crazy for thinking this way, or it's like you connect with people on like a more personal level, and I think that's what's coming back. Go back to the transition is like I didn't have that. When I got out, I was kind of, we're all like ego, like we're all like I'm stronger, I'm badass. I I did 2 deployments. What am I gonna fucking say? Oh, am I feeling? I'm feeling kind of down today. But the thing is,
Yeah.
it's like we're all human. You can't hide from that shit, man. Like we're all gonna fucking battle. We all do. We have good days and bad days. I mean, people think, I see all these life coaches out there now. It's like, dude, come on. Like, would you watch like a fucking Tony Robbins documentary on Netflix? It's like, come on, like. You're gonna have good days and bad days. All this bullshit that like, oh, there's think positive. It's like they were human. Like we're gonna have. That's another thing. There's a lot of garbage in the veteran community about like all this positivity. It's like we're human. It's how you react on those down days and keep going forward. That's kind of how I feel. But
bro, and that's the truth. That's the truth, man. Because like. That's how I was feeling a lot too. Like, was that like, like, oh, I can't have down days or I can't have these days. And then all of a sudden, like, it was like, no, it's okay that those things happen. Like, it's okay to have a bad day or you don't have to feel like a piece of shit because you had a bad day or, so as you were getting out, I know you said that you found yourself at Monmouth University and you, had issues with that. What kind of issues did you have while you were getting out? Like, what kind of issues did you have with transitioning?
Number one was with relationships trust. Always, it's kind of a I don't think it's always bad to look at somebody and think, hey, you always look at what they, what are the dangers in people, but it was too much. I didn't really like when someone was clearly a good person. I'd be like, well, I don't know. This guy's a good guy, but, and just drink. I drank too much. Drank a lot. I had a double hernia surgery too afterwards, and got addicted to Percocets. And then I just kind of hit it. I put on this character of what Western civilization thought I should be. Right? I should have a job. I should be 9 to 5. Look all good filtered on Facebook and Instagram, and not fucking, tried to have the blonde girlfriend and look good because that's what the fucking Kardashians or everybody else is fucking doing in Western civilization. I just wasn't being me and authentic, and it just built up over time, and I just didn't have. I feel like I was just I was dying, and I was dying inside, and finally, I got arrested for a bar fight down the shore at Belmar. It was aggravated assault, and that's where I was like, I woke up in jail. I'm like, yo, I got to get my shit together, And I got lucky that time. That was definitely an eye opener. I got my dog here. After that, I got moved up to Jersey City, and it's like I said too, I still have bad days. I'm still human, still trying to be better, and the way that helps is just being real and talking to people like you or talking to other vets that dude, I'm having a bad fucking day. What's up? And just even kind of just venting to someone. It's like, after you say it a couple times, it's like, oh, maybe it's not that bad, but
yeah,
just a lot of, yeah.
And that's the thing about it, man. Like, that's the thing about like why I love like the podcast, why I love like the Marine rapper. He does freaking lives every day. And, like, it's good to see people that care about the community that really want to make a change. Because a lot, like, and I've had this conversation before, it's like, everybody screams 22 at the top of their lungs, but what are you doing about it? Like, if Brian calls you, are you going to answer? Or are you going to call him back tomorrow? Or are you never going to call him back? If I FaceTime you, are you going to, deny my FaceTime for a week and then say, oh, bro, my bad, I was busy? Like, and that's the thing is that, like, when somebody does pass away, and there is an issue, then everyone's like, "Oh, bro, I wish I had more time." Well, no, you have
call
the
me,
time.
call me. Yeah. It's like, no, motherfucker. It's like you got, during the Afghan withdrawal, I was a little fucked up during that. Like, I mean, not like I was just infuriated, confused, a lot of up and down emotions, and I just started doing Zooms with guys I was with, and it was amazing. And that's I reconnect with a lot of people. And it was like, oh, I could do podcasts. Why don't I just do Zooms with people I fucking serve? Did one on my fire team. We all fucking drank beers and talked for 3 hours, and just some other people, and that's the thing. If like I tell people, it's like, oh, just even to say hello to somebody would be a fucking make their day, as far as like someone you serve, but say, hey, dude, what's up?
Yeah.
Everyone's like, yo, what's up, dude? I haven't talked for years because we're just so like moved on with our lives. So it's always good to just kind of like, hey, what's up, dude? And that'll make somebody's day. You don't know.
Bro, it's like earlier on in the when we started talking, you were talking about how some veterans are like totally against, Instagram and or social media. And I had that happen. I had a friend of mine that I deployed with reach out to me, and he had recently become a cop, and he was like, "Oh, bro, does your wife approve of you and this person that you've become on social media?" And I was like, first of all, me and you haven't spoken in years. So maybe it's just that I've changed who I am. And I
Right.
was like, who I am on social media and who I am at home or anywhere is no different than who I am right now. And he was like, "What are you trying to do with this podcast?" And interrogating me
None
rather
of your
than like,
fucking bro. Don't worry about it, bro. None
exactly.
of your
And
fucking
it was
business.
and it was just funny because like a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are like, oh,
Yeah.
social media is the devil. And it's like, listen, bro, anything is the devil if you allow it to be. If you allow it to be, then yes, it's going to be a problem. But there's things like this, like right now, that this is bringing two people together that
Right.
literally are from the same RSS that never met each other, but now having a conversation about
Right.
suicide, camaraderie. Like,
Right.
look at what we're doing because of social media. So it's crazy.
No, yeah, that's a thing. You can't. The people they're gonna shut down and talk shit about your project or whatever you're doing is just they just have their own little. They're insecure, reflecting on how they feel, and those are the ones that I will say a little prayer for at night. They're the ones that are jealous because maybe you moved on and have changed. Like someone talking about like, oh, what were you a couple of years ago the last time you saw him? So he's seeing you evolve, and that's his insecurity on you. That's what's going on. That's
So
I get.
so what's next for Brian? Do you have any like what's your goal of your podcast? I know you said to just kind of help people. So is that
Right.
just kind of like the
Yeah, dude. I don't know. I've been starting to think about a little bit about doing some kind of film um about the self discovery I got from this podcast, like a documentary.
mm,
I have something coming out a couple weeks with jumped on another fellow Marine that did something for GWAT vets, which I'll post, which was pretty cool and kind of inspired me to, there's the Soft Bad Monkey podcast is pretty good. They got a great film guy and those guys are really creative and um, I want to do something with their film guy Harold on something about a documentary on something about a little bit more in depth on my life and then how this has been self-discovery and try to hit that veteran that's not on social media and kind of hit that. I don't know yet, but that's my 2022 goal is to hit that and start a new project in that way. I'll do podcasts here and there. Like I said, it's a great way to network and connect. And the only thing I do it for is just to kind of help me out, and then if someone's listening, help them out.
yeah. And dude, it really is a huge connection, dude. I've done 100 episodes in 6 months, and I've met like almost every one of my episodes is someone that I don't know. Like,
That's cool.
like it's yeah, like
All the people I hang out with are from the podcast. I've released 52, and the first guy that's been on my podcast, Justin Egan, the Marine poet, he's like one of my best friends. The people I hang out with, like Steve Ralston, Jason Delgado, all these guys. He does all my tattoos now. It's like all through the podcast. It's
that's
when you're
dope.
really authentic and genuine about it, and not just doing it for your ego.
Yeah.
It really people pick up on that, and you give that good energy. It gives it back, man. It's all about that energy and getting back. You get what you give. So
Amen, bro. I can't. Amen, bro. It's so true, dude. And that's something that like I talk about a lot because I just don't know why it's so hard for people to be like I am I a dick? I could be a dick. I could be a complete
we're
and
dick
utter
for
dick.
assholes at times. We're human. We're
Yeah,
human.
but
Human.
but it's but it's like at the same time, it's like, is it really hard to say hello to somebody? Is it really hard to open a door for somebody? Is it really hard to let somebody go ahead of you in traffic? Like, are all of these things such a hard thing to do? Like,
They
it's
are. That's the first the phase I talked about when I got out. That ego, man. The ego. I'm on this motherfucker in front of me, bro. Like, that's that ego, man. Kills you. It'll kill you.
Yeah, dude, and it's nuts, man. Where where do you like? Where do you? What do you do now?
So I when I got out of the Marine Corps, I got like an entry level project coordinator role at a tech company, like real low key. And I just worked my fucking ass off. This was about 2014, about what, 8 years ago. And now I run a team of software engineers for an ed tech. I don't code. I don't do shit. I just do operations and mad from the Marine Corps, man. So thankful for the Marine Corps because without it, I wouldn't be able to do it. So
Oh
I just,
wow.
yeah, people were like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, yeah, dude, I fucking Steve Jobs it, bro. No, I'm not
That's
like
dope.
that, but yeah, no, it's cool. I'm a little nerd on the side, so you see, I like enjoying, like I learned like all the Adobe, the content stuff during COVID. I just like evolving as a person, man. That's always key is just learning new shit and then just kind of not being afraid to do it. Because when you're idle, that's where I'll start going down a bad path. So I'm always, I like even thought I was like, oh, maybe I'll learn the fucking guitar this year, or maybe I'll fucking do something. Like, I always try to have a hobby just to kind of learn a new trait. It's like we're so young, and I'll be 35 next week. And it's like, dude, it's like, come on. It's like there's so much in life than just to fucking sit there on fucking social media and bitch and complain about fucking life. It's like, come on, wake up. You fucking did your tours, whatever, 10 years ago. Let's move on and fucking live life.
Dude,
Because
it really is, man. It's crazy to think about that. Like, it's crazy to think that like I was in Afghanistan in 2011, like 10 years now, going on 11 years ago. Like I was thinking about that
right,
today.
yeah,
Like 11 years ago, I was in Leatherneck. Like come March. Like right
wow.
now, I was in CAX getting ready to go to Leatherneck. Like it's freaking crazy to think about how quickly, and that's the thing though. It's like, a lot of these people, man, they just get so bent up on what it's kind of like, the equivalent of like the people who walk around town that still wear like their football jerseys from,
High school
high
Harrys,
school. It's
high
like,
school Harrys.
yeah.
Yeah, so
It's
much
like, bro,
hilarious.
really? Like,
Yeah.
like,
What
and
are you
it's
doing now,
crazy.
dude? What are you doing now? Like, yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's like these veterans
Yeah,
have no idea what they're capable of, and a lot of them just want to,
dude.
they just want to live. That's their life, man. I get like there's some trauma involved, but come on, there's so much more.
Yeah.
And then they'll fucking talk shit about the ones that are fucking out there doing shit. That's just that's
Dude, it's crazy because I was talking to my last episode that I did. I did it with an author. He's a Marine. He wrote a book called Burned in Babylon, and he talks about when he was in Afghanistan. I'm sorry, when he was in Iraq, and he got hit by a mortar, and there was a mortar strike, and he got caught on fire, and he lost mobility in his arm, and he wrote a book, and in the book, it half the book is poetry, and then the other half is just like normal chapters,
well,
and it took him like 10 years, like from the incident, it took like 10 years for him to decide to write a book, and the same thing with you starting your podcast. He was told by somebody in the VA, his counselor, to start writing poetry and then to be cathartic. And then that made him start wanting to write a book. Then he wrote the book. And me and him were just talking about the amount of negativity he receives from other veterans that are like, oh, you're just clout chasing, or oh, you wrote your book for this, or you wrote your book for that. And it's like, dude, like, why does there have to be so much negativity in the veteran community? Like, why can't you just say, hey, man, good on you, bro. Good job. That shit's fucking dope.
or why as soon as someone says that to me, I fucking like I posted the other day, block, delete, unfollow, fuck it. I don't even fucking respond. It's
Yeah.
not even worth your energy, dude. And then
Yeah.
those motherfuckers will be copying your style in about a year. So just just do whatever works for you, man. If it's art, music, whatever. Or just some people need to discover what works for them. That's you gotta get a little uncomfortable. I don't want now I feel like I'm sounding like Tony fucking Robbins, but that's the podcast for me, man, was probably one of the best things I've did. And I just appreciate all the people I've met and the people that follow me. And it's just like it's like a little community. It's cool, and
what what made you choose "I Got Your 6" as the title?
Well, I know what it is. I'm not a creative dude. I'm fucking dumb as fuck when it comes to creativity. And I was like, oh, there's something that any veteran understands. It's "I Got Your 6," right? Simple, right? Like simple. And there wasn't any podcast at that time with that. And I was like, all right, I'm fucking, I went and bought like this logo on like fucking Etsy or whatever the fuck one of these websites were, and just get a logo just on my page. And I was just like, oh, "I Got Your 6," simple, because I feel like we still got each other's back, it's simple and everybody understands what it means, and I'm not into like, some fucking coming out with some fucking, I don't know, fucking some kind of different language for a meaning or Pashto, like fucking infidel or fucking some bullshit people fucking have, gay as fuck. But it was just simple. Keep it simple, man. That's how I am. And yeah, just kind of there's some dude that fucking just copied it recently, and I kind of bust on him a little bit, but it's all out of love. Just get a new name, bro. The social media thing's so fake. People take it too seriously. So I have fun with it.
Dude, it is. It's insane how serious people get like when it comes to that.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right on, man. Well, let's link up again because I want to hear more about you and your story. So
yeah, definitely, brother. I got to get the kids. Well, the kids are in bed, but
But
my
you gotta
wife,
get your shit together. Yeah, enjoy your day off tomorrow. All right.
Yeah, man. Yo, definitely. I want to get together again, man. Thank you so much for hopping on here, bro. I
Sure,
love
man.
just shooting the shit, bro.
Likewise.
I can't wait to do it again, bro. And just if you need me, you got my number. I actually mean that. So if you gotta hit me up, hit me up.
Likewise, man. Likewise, brother.
But, all right, brother. Thanks a lot.
All right, bro. Peace out.